So the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
Let's see. It's that time to talk about Bachelor in Paradise on our show. That's BIP. I said that backwards. YouTube, I'm going to need you to go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new Bachelor content just like this. And if you just did, huge shout out to you. Ooh, wee, air horns for you. And actually, I don't know why. I do know why. It's been a long day for your boy, but I wanted to pull up some new names that we had in the comment crew. Of course, we got to shout out our comment crew, Catherine Ann, Chelsea Allen, and Kathleen Kent, the OGs. They always there, but we actually had some new people joining the community, so shout out to people that are subscribing, smashing that thumbs up button and hitting that notification bell for us, because you guys really make a difference. And we had a lot of good comments about our comment crew starting a band together, so I think we should definitely do that.
And they also liked my Nancy Drew comment.
Oh yeah, they want to be a part of the Nancy Drew crew, so we got some names in the mix. But yeah, another shout out to the homie Harry Letterman.
Okay, that's also a great name. Who are these people?
Harry Letterman, I don't know, but I love our comment crew, so keep it coming. If you want a shout out, make sure you're leaving a shout out in the comments below and letting us know. You have
to have a good name.
Yeah, have a great name. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. But V, why don't we get talking about Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, Week 8. What's going on? Where do we start?
We're back for 2 episodes this week. Second to last week in Paradise for us as viewers. And we started off night 1. Everybody is still reeling from Rodney leaving the beach. Everyone is still pretty upset. I feel like the talk of Eliza at the beach is not super great, but it's not as bad as it could be. I feel like people, they kind of try to tone down as much of a potential villain edit as they could have given her. But it still felt like a little bit like they're putting it all on her, which felt a little shitty to me. But speaking of Eliza, we get to see her, strutting down the streets of Baltimore, Maryland, looking like a hottie toddy and knocking on Justin's door for Justin to look like he saw a ghost.
Yeah. I mean, do you think he was told by producers that that they were going to do an interview with him? Because they obviously didn't tell him that she was showing up, right?
I have no idea what they could have said, or if he was given any sort of forewarning about anybody coming, with cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they would just have to set that up. But yeah,
they would have to set something up, but I'm guessing, yeah.
He was wanting to be picked, first. He wanted to be chosen first and stuff,
Right. And I think he had, I've read some stuff that he thought, he didn't realize that Eliza and Rodney had as much time together as they had, / formed as much of a connection as they had. He thought, Eliza had just gotten onto the beach when he got there. So he kind of thought, things were going to look a little different. So he pretty much he's all sorry you flew all the way here. But I'm not, I'm not going to just take you back now that you're ready for me, now that you realize that you made the wrong choice.
Was that the final choice he made?
Yeah, that was the final choice he made.
Damn.
And then she was, crying out in the alleyway by his house and was I didn't do this just for shits and giggles. I really meant it. I just think that's Eliza wasn't going to win no matter how she sliced her situation, she wasn't, it wasn't going to be good either way she was going with what stuff was going. So it just kind of sucks for her.
Yeah, it was just kind of worst case scenario for the girl. Who shows up at the beach now? We're getting some still new people coming down.
I know. We get a couple new people, and we first get Mara, Marinara. That's her go-to. She's saucy. She's saucy. And she's rolling in with the energy. And the energy of the beach is low. Yeah. It's non-existent. Everybody's still in their pity party. There's like a cloud over all of paradise. Everybody's still like feeling upset about Rodney being gone. And also it doesn't help that like everybody's pretty fucking coupled up. Mm-hmm. And so she goes in with her date card, does as well as she can to ask all the dudes out. And, you know, Johnny turns her down. Logan turns her down. I forget who else. And then she talks with Justin, who's the twin that's been with Flo, the Australian one. And Justin, because he's brand new, he's only been on a date. He's just new. He's having a good time. He's a young buck. He's 24. And she's also like, she's like 33. So like the, you know, the slim pickings for these older, I'm using quotes, women on the beach, because 34, 32, 33 are not old. 24 is young, but
they're young to me.
They're all young. So you know, she vibes with Justin, Mara does, and asks him on the date, and he ends up going with her because why not? I mean, he's not really tied down to Florence. Like they've been on one date, whatever.
Yeah, and Mara and him have a good date. Like he always gets the ones where he has to like throw a bunch of food on top of him.
What I just think, I have to think that somebody in Bachelor production has like a food fetish. That's all I can think of, because the amount of food related, like on Bachelor in Paradise dates that there are, feels a little kinky. I mean, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. I'm just saying the frequency is saying something to me. So they do that. They have a good time, whatever. Meanwhile, the entire time, Kate has been pretty much shit-talking Logan to people because she's still not really, like, fully feeling like he's stepping up to the plate. And, you know.
Logan's not having it. He's kind of like, what the hell is going on right now?
Like, Logan isn't having it, and he, like, they have, like, a hard feelings conversation. And he's not having it because he's like, you know, like, I, like, these things that I did to you, did me coming down to you, like, on the beach and showing my love, like, showing that I cared about you this way, did that mean nothing to you? Like, how am I supposed to, because he's all like, you're saying all that, like, that I need to step it up. How? Like, what do I need to do? Like, I feel like anything I do is
just, like, step it up.
Enough for you. And she's all like, don't put words in my mouth. And I'm all like, girl, you literally just, like, you're making yourself look bad.
Yeah.
Like, and because she keeps being like, I'm a wower, I need to be wowed. I'm like, oh my God, you're so high maintenance is what you are. And, like, she's high maintenance, and Logan is like a bro. He's like lowest frequency. To me, you either have to try to balance that out, but they're not even, they're like on so far over on the scale that they don't even know.
Yeah, so, I mean, I do think, like, she's kind of expecting stuff out of him, and he's just, like, wanting it to be chill. Like, I mean, he's making decisions. Another girl comes down on the beach, you know? Yeah,
so before we get to that, but so Flo pissed that Justin didn't talk to her pretty much after his date, like the next morning, whatever, pretty much like muscles herself back in, has him go and talk to Mara.
She was flipping. She was not having it.
She was not having it. Flo was not having it.
Like, loud enough, I felt like everyone could hear. Like, I was like, yo, dude, Justin, can you not hear her? Like, Flo talking shit right now.
Oh, yeah. Like, she was like over across the, like, you know, the deck at talking about it, and then she pulls Justin aside and is all like, yo, me and you, dude. And he's all like, okay, because he's a little baby boy. So he goes and talks to Mara, and pretty much is all like, he looked drunk when he was talking to Mara.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I think I just have a better connection with
he was squinting with the one eye. You're doing it perfectly. Yeah. Like, I'm like, that's how you know you're a little drunk, because you're trying to see, like, things are a little fuzzy, so maybe if I close one eye, it'll make it better.
Yeah, because you don't want to be all cross-eyed, like, you know.
Yeah, so he's like, I have a better connection with Flo. lets her down, goes back, and she's like, okay, whatever, fuck you too. So that's Mara is just chilling like a villain on the beach now, like by herself. But anyways, there's more competition coming down for these ladies, or maybe lack thereof, but for some more competition, because Ency and Lindsey from Clayton's season come on down, and they have like a double date card. They have to try to figure out who to take on dates, and Ency goes for Andrew, and they are sort of on each other's list.
They look cute together.
They look really cute together. They vibe. I feel like Andrew really hasn't had like a very tight connection with any person since Teddy, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a second. But like, so I never thought that he was like super tight. Like we haven't seen a lot of like him and Jessenia being looked at as like.
I don't understand either, because Jessenia is so beautiful.
Dude, I love Jessenia.
Yeah,
I love Jessenia.
I'd pick her every time, like if I was down there.
For sure. But Andrew decides to go on this date with Ency, and then we have Lindsey, who comes down, asks a couple of the people. And then the main person that she's vibing with and that she's interested in that also had her on his list is Logan. And because, Logan, hot commodity.
He's the Bachelor on Paradise.
Pretty much. And so Logan, like they're vibing, like Logan's like ready to go on this date. And when she asks him, he says that he has to talk to Kate. And actually, Kate and Lindsey were pals when they were on Clayton's season. Like, they're pretty close. And so he goes and talks to Kate. And, like, for some reason, that's still, like, not good enough for Kate. Like, I don't get it. Like somehow it isn't good. Like she still like is like sort of pissed about him being all like, I'm not going to go on this date. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm like here talking to you to make sure that like, like the exact thing that you did to me and whatever. But like, I don't want to go on this date. Like I want, similar situation. And for some reason, when she's getting her own medicine back at her, she's pissed. And and he's saying like, I feel like you're overly critical of me all the time. Like, I feel like you put me down. And she's all like, what do you mean? Meanwhile, she's literally been shit talking him to the entire beach for the last like 2-3 days.
Like, sister.
My sister in Christ. You're a shit talker, is what you are.
Oh,
That's
man.
what you are. You're a shit talker. Which, like, no hate, no shade. I can talk shit sometimes, but, like, own up to it. I don't know.
So Lindsey doesn't get the date.
No, she doesn't get the date. He says no. So then she just immediately goes home because, like, there's literally nobody else for her to be with. Mm-hmm. So adios. And so Ency and Andrew go on the date, and they have a great time. They definitely connect. Their energies seem to be more similar from what we've seen, because we haven't really seen that much action between Andrew and Jessenia, honestly. Their energies seem to be more similar. They seem to vibe. And, Andrew's coming back from it being all like, I'm kind of feeling Ency a little bit more to Jessenia.
So Jessenia's going home.
Well, she doesn't know that yet, but she's, she's feeling some kind of way.
Well, let's get into night 2.
Night 2 starts where night 1 ends, with Gabby and Rachel coming down to, spill some tea, get some tea, say hi to their exes. Both of them are flashing their engagement rings, and all the girls are screaming, excited. Meanwhile, the dudes from their season are all like, oh my God. Mostly Logan, Johnny a little bit, because Johnny literally got on that beach just mere weeks after getting off of the beach where he got dumped by Gabby.
Yeah, they definitely, I feel like, skip past this part really fast, but because they did that, like, they didn't have, I feel like, the best light on Gabby and Rachel. They were like, I didn't like them on this episode.
I was like a little upset that they kind of made them look like mean girls. So they talk to all the girls, and pretty much they give Tyler and Johnny the green light to both Victoria and Brittany. Like, they only have great things to say about Tyler, and even like, well, I'll say it in a second, but like they say nice things about Tyler and like whatever. And then they both are just like disapproving, mostly Rachel, disapproving of Logan. And so like they go and talk to Kate more. And it's pretty much, they talk about like, and you could tell they're like not again when the girls on the beach are telling them how, Logan first dated Shanae, and then he dated, then he went on a date with Sarah, and then he dated Kate, and like he's been on all these dates. And
dude, he hasn't done anything worse than anybody else on that beach.
I'm not saying he has. I'm just saying, like, from the perspective of Gabby and Rachel, they're like, oh, so he hasn't changed because
Rachel just looked butthurt. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Gabby's
Rachel
just
was
trying to be
butthurt,
supportive.
and also the timing is like when this was happening was like probably right before she finds out that Tina was cheating on her. So, something to keep in mind. Yeah. But yeah, she definitely is. But Rachel is the butthurt one because I think things are still for her fresh in her mind from her season where he dumped her, like left her side to go to Gabby's side. Like Gabby is all like, didn't like what he did, but like whatever. Like she's a little more nonchalant about it. Rachel's definitely butthurt, and like you could tell. Like I didn't love how they then kind of came off as mean girls, as being all like, I mean, you'll know what decision to make, Kate. Like that kind of situation. Which like honestly, Kate's already been being sort of a mean girl to Logan just because like of how critical she's been of him. So it's like I don't really know if this was the conversation that needed to be had. Like she's already had Logan on thin ice and like low-key threatening him at rose ceremonies. So whatever.
Well, what's going on with Genevieve and Aaron this episode?
They're just the drama king and drama queen that they are. They literally got into a fight about if an itch is the same thing as like pain or like a low level of pain. That is the fight they have, to the point where Genevieve gets so pissed off that she like packs her. This is like her fucking go-to. This is her card. She's like, let me pack my bags and stomp out of here. And then of course like Aaron is like talking to the boys, being all like, I mean, she's wrong. And then like goes up and like they fight it out, talk it out, and it's all good to go. Like I can't with them. I feel like we're going to see some stuff revealed about their relationship at after the beach, after the final rose situation.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so then they got a date card out there and they end up giving it to Brittany and Tyler.
Yeah, so they have like just a fun, cute, honestly, it was very boring because they're just super cute together. They're falling in love. Honestly, I love them together. They've got cute, round faces, and they're both really hot. And I have nothing else to say, but I hope the best for them. I hope nothing.
Do you think they make it?
I mean, I hope they make it to like dating afterwards. I don't expect an engagement out of them, but I would hope like maybe they would try to date after the beach because they're just so cute.
Yeah, so we have like a little dance situation happen here next.
So Becca and Thomas come onto the beach and, show how they're Bachelor Nation royalty, whatever. And it's funny because like Thomas, at this point, this was before Thomas then also proposed to Becca. So at this point, only Thomas has his ring.
Alexa,
so like they're
on.
engaged. And so he goes and like the boys all kind of like jump and scream around him like all the girls did around Gabby and Rachel. And I thought that was really funny. But they present how they're going to throw the beach a Sadie Hawkins dance because they're like in honor of like, Becca asking me to, get married or whatever and proposing to me. We're going to have a Sadie Hawkins dance. So like ask, ladies, it's your turn to ask. And like, so the girls all go around and they ask in their different ways, with like maybe some marachis or maybe some, I don't know, Brittany's way best.
And stuff.
Signs and yeah, I love the checklist that Victoria did for Johnny. Brittany's way didn't like, she just used like a funny little thing and scared him coming out of a ball pit. I don't really know what the ball pit meant in the grand scheme of things. Serene had this huge Sunday and said, she wanted to be sweet and, have time with Brandon at the dance, whatever. They all ask each other out. And then we've got Jessenia and Mara as our lone ladies. And they're having a great time, but Jessenia kind of it's gnawing at her that, she was like, I feel like I had a deeper connection with Andrew that maybe he didn't have with me. And I just like, I could tell she's like searching for the closure. So she pulls him aside because he's there with Ency, and she pulls him to the side, and like they get to talking because she's like trying to figure out if he really even ever had feelings for her or what his whole goal was. Because she's like, I feel like, you had a brief thing with Brittany, you had the thing with Teddy first, then you were with me, and then you just bounced right over to Ency, and like I feel like you're all over the place. I feel like, are you actually here for the right reasons? Like blah, blah, blah. And he, admits to her how he still has feelings for Teddy. And he's all like, I think that's why I've been as much all over the place as I have, and like obviously didn't want to get you hurt in this or like whatever, and I do want to like they're trying to stay friends, like they're trying to stay friends at least minimally, but they're trying to like get to that. And meanwhile Ency's losing her mind that they're even talking. She's like losing it. She like, and everybody else is like, Ency's kind of going crazy about the fact we can all see directly what they're talking about. It's not like anything nefarious is going on. Like, they kind of have some closure, some things to tie up. And Ency like tries to give him an ultimatum as he's trying to finish this conversation with Jessenia. And Jessenia's like, you're giving him an ultimatum. That's not fair. Because she's all like, you either like end this conversation and stop giving her validation, or there's no future for us. And Jessenia's like, what the fuck? And Andrew's like, bro, let me finish this conversation. Like, I have to, like, she deserves the respect of her time and everything too. Like, I'm about to come and get you. Like, chill out. And so Jessenia ends up going home because she's all like, obviously there's nothing for me here because me and you are over, and I have, there's nobody else for me on the beach. Adios. And like, Andrew had told her how kind of his plan was to go home the next day because he's all like, I'm having a good time with Ency, but it's not doing what I need it to do. And so then Ency still is like freaking out, comes back out, and like is, kind of berating him for leaving her in the middle of some stupid paddleboard game. And like,
is she drunk?
I'm guessing. I don't know. But like, he's all like, I have to be honest with you. Like, I still like, because she's all like, why would you do that? Why would you even give her the time or whatever? And he's like, honestly, my heart is somewhere else. And she's like, with who? And he's all like, with Teddy. Like, I don't think, he's like, you gave me the hope that I could maybe get over Teddy, but it's just not happening. And I like don't want to be dishonest with my feelings and whatever. And then this is where Ency makes herself look bad, because she like is literally like grabbing onto this man and like holding his face, grabbing him to like hold her against the railing, which I thought was weird. And like being all like, no, Andrew, no, Andrew, no, Andrew, no, Andrew, stay, Andrew, stay, Andrew, stay. And like, meanwhile, homie is like trying to like pull himself away. Like, she's all like pulls him in for a hug. She's like, breathe, it's gonna be okay. And he's all like just sitting there like, and I'm like, bro, homie is trying to go. He's trying to leave. Honestly, like, it looks sad and desperate to be begging somebody to stay with you. Like, why would you want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you? Someone who literally just told you to your face that they love somebody else. Why would you want that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think like, yeah, she just went too hard too fast, and it's at the end, it's like really hard to catch feelings like at that point.
Right.
So how do we end this episode?
We end this episode by, Andrew leaves, and then Ency's freaking out, crying, sobbing, and then she leaves. And so we just pretty much end the episode with the dance just going into utter, everybody's gone. Everybody else goes home, and they've left, and it's gonna be make or break time next week. So it's funny because like the after credits scene had Wells like giving out the awards, like the superlatives, to an empty dance floor because like everybody had left at that point because of like just how crazy everything ended. But
Who got what?
most likely to get engaged was Serene and Brandon. Drama king and queen were Genevieve and Aaron. Most likely to rob the cradle was Flo. Strangest couple was Flo and Justin. And king and queen, like normal king and queen, were Danielle and Michael.
Okay, nice.
So,
do we have any Bachelor Nation news?
no, not that I could really find.
That's all good. We'll make this a quick one. Well, you guys make sure, you leave a comment or a question or answer one of our questions. Like, would you be with someone that told you to your face that they love someone else? Yeah, leave that in the comments below. Would you?
Brutal.
would you like to be asked to a dance by a woman in a Sadie Hawkins style?
Sadie Hawkins dance
Yeah.
in my khaki pants.
Okay, so
The real ones know.
I think I know that song. Yeah, just let us know in the comments below.
Future Bachelor